Have you ever felt like the world has started to look past you? Like the older you get, the more invisible you become? Maybe you've noticed younger folks talking over you, or you've been in a room where your ideas seem to just float by without anyone listening. It's a tough feeling, like all the wisdom, experience, and strength you've gathered over the years is somehow being ignored. And it's frustrating, isn't it? To give so much of yourself for decades to family, work, community, and then feel like you're being quietly pushed to the sidelines. But here's the truth most people forget. The value you bring doesn't fade with age. In fact, it only grows. I know it can feel lonely sometimes, like you're no longer part of the conversation. Maybe you've had days where you sit quietly at a family gathering, watching everyone glued to their phones, barely making eye contact. Or maybe you've offered advice, real, hard-earned advice, and it's brushed off like it doesn't matter. That can wear on a person. You might even start to doubt yourself a little, wondering if what you've got to offer still holds weight in a world that moves a mile a minute. And let's be honest, aging comes with its own challenges. The body changes, the mind feels different, and it's easy to think you've lost something. But what if I told you that the things you think are holding you back might actually be the very things that make you incredible? Because here's the beautiful part. Everything you've been through, every challenge you've faced, every joy and heartbreak has shaped you into someone with depth, with insight, with strength that younger generations can't even begin to understand yet. There's a reason why people turn to grandparents for wisdom, or why a quiet nod from someone older can say more than a dozen loud opinions. You carry a lifetime of experience, and that's something no shortcut or app can replace. The world may be fast, but fast isn't always wise. And you, my friend, have something timeless. Today, we're going to talk about that. Those incredible qualities you bring to the table, the ones that matter more now than ever. Let's begin with something that's been earned, not given wisdom. Not the kind that comes from textbooks or search engines, but the kind that's been lived. When you've seen the highs and lows, when you've raised children, built a career, faced loss, loved deeply, you start to see life differently. You begin to understand what matters and what doesn't. That kind of wisdom is priceless. It helps younger generations make better choices, and it brings a calm steadiness to a world that can feel chaotic. You've been there. You know how to navigate tough times because you already have. That's something no one can take away from you. Next is patience. And let's be real. It takes time to learn that not everything needs an immediate fix. Maybe you've learned, after years of family dinners and holiday gatherings, that sometimes the best thing you can do is just listen. Not everything needs to be solved, and not everyone needs to be corrected. Patience allows you to take a breath, to let things unfold, and to trust that most situations work themselves out with time. That quiet, grounded presence you carry, that's patience in action, and it brings comfort to the people around you, whether they realize it or not. Now let's talk about empathy. Life teaches us to feel for others. After years of walking through your own joys and struggles, you become more attuned to the feelings of others. You notice when someone's having a hard day. You remember what it was like to be young and unsure, and that memory helps you offer kindness instead of judgment. Empathy connects us. It builds bridges between generations, between strangers, between family members. And as someone who has lived through more than most, your ability to empathize has only deepened with time. Resilience is another powerful quality that often gets overlooked. You've survived tough times. Maybe you've lost people you loved. Maybe you've faced illness, disappointment, or fear. But you're still here, still standing. That resilience, that inner strength to keep going when life knocks you down, is something younger people need to see. They need to know that setbacks don't define a person, that getting up again, no matter how many times it takes, is what truly matters. Your life is living proof of that. Then there's problem solving. You've spent a lifetime figuring things out, fixing broken appliances, handling budgets, managing relationships, adapting to change. You didn't always have a manual or a YouTube tutorial to guide you. You just figured it out. That ability to calmly assess a situation, think it through, and find a solution is a skill honed by time and experience. It's something you bring into every room you enter, often without even realizing it. And it's something younger people can learn from just by watching how you move through the world. One of the most meaningful gifts older adults bring is mentorship. You walked the path. You made the mistakes. You've learned what works and what doesn't. And now, you can light the way for someone else. Whether it's offering advice to a grandchild, mentoring a younger coworker, or simply sharing a story that helps someone see a situation in a new light, you have the power to shape lives. That's not an exaggeration. One honest conversation, one thoughtful word, can change the entire direction of someone's journey. Perspective is another treasure. When you've lived long enough, you start to see patterns. You recognize that most problems aren't the end of the world, even if they feel like it in the moment. You've learned to step back, breathe, and ask yourself, will this matter in a year? That perspective brings peace. It brings clarity. It keeps families from falling apart over small things. And when shared, it can help others shift their focus from worry to gratitude, from panic to peace. Speaking of gratitude, that's another incredible quality that often grows with age. When you've lived through ups and downs, when you've seen both scarcity and abundance, you begin to appreciate the simple things: a warm cup of tea, a kind word, the sound of laughter. You know that life isn't about always getting what you want, but about loving what you have. Gratitude changes everything. It softens your heart, lifts your spirit, and reminds you of all that's still good and worth holding on to. When you live with gratitude, you show others how to do the same. And finally, connection. You know how to build real relationships. The kind that last through disagreements, through distance, through change. You understand the value of picking up the phone, sending a birthday card, or sitting down for a conversation without distractions. In a world where people are more digitally connected but emotionally distant, your ability to connect on a human level is a gift. You remind us of the importance of community, of eye contact, of shared meals and shared stories. You bring people together, and in doing so, you help us remember what really matters. So, if you've ever doubted your value, if you've ever wondered what you still have to offer, let this be your reminder. You are a well of strength, compassion, insight, and light. The qualities you've earned through a life well lived are not just valuable, they're essential. You bring something to the table that no one else can, and the world needs it more than ever. So, if any part of you has been thinking, well, I don't know if I really bring all those things to the table, I want you to pause right there. Because you do. You absolutely do. Every laugh line, every scar, every story you carry, it's all proof that you've lived and learned and grown. Those qualities we talked about, they're not just nice ideas. They're in you, right now. You may not see them every day, but the people around you feel them when you speak, when you show up, when you simply listen. And maybe you needed this reminder today. We all do sometimes. The world is quick to highlight youth and speed, but slow to honor the depth that only comes with age. But here's the beautiful truth. While others are chasing the next big thing, you've already found the things that truly matter. That's something to celebrate. That's something to be proud of. If this message resonated with you, if you're sitting there thinking, yes, that's me, and I've still got so much to give, then I invite you to stay connected with this community. Go ahead and subscribe and hit that little bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Because in our next video, we're diving into how to rediscover your personal sense of purpose, how to find new meaning in this chapter of life, and wake up each morning feeling excited about what lies ahead. There's a lot to look forward to, and I'd love for you to be there with me. But I don't want this to just be a one-way conversation. This space we're building, it's a circle, not a stage. I'd love for you to head down to the comments and share your voice. Tell me, which of those 9 qualities do you see most clearly in yourself? Is it your patience? Your resilience? Maybe your gift for connecting with others? There's no right or wrong answer, just your truth, and I promise someone out there needs to hear it. Or maybe you want to tell us about someone else. A parent, a friend, a neighbor, someone older who's shown you what it means to live with strength and grace. Sharing those stories helps all of us remember what's possible. It reminds us that aging isn't about fading away. It's about becoming more of who we truly are. And if you know someone who needs to hear this today, maybe a friend who's been feeling a little invisible, or a loved one who's forgotten just how valuable they are, send this video their way. It might be the reminder they've been waiting for. When we lift each other up, when we shine a light on the good in one another, we all rise. This is more than just a video. It's a gathering of voices that have lived, that have loved, that have seen things most people can't even imagine. It's a place where experience is celebrated, not hidden. Where being older means being richer in all the ways that count. So take a moment right now. Reflect on who you are, what you've carried, what you've overcome. There's beauty in your journey, real beauty. The world needs more of your insight, your warmth, your laughter, your perspective. And if no one's told you lately, let me be the one to say it. You are still deeply needed, deeply appreciated, and very much alive with purpose. Let's keep this conversation going. Let's show the world that older doesn't mean less. It means more. More wisdom, more courage, more soul. You belong here. We're glad you're here, and we can't wait to hear your story.